Trainer Network back with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about what does calisthenics mean to you? What is calisthenics to you? Your definition. What is calisthenics to you, JP?
Calisthenics is like body weight workouts, like that real work. Like it's nothing like compared to lifting like 30-pound dumbbells rather than like your own body weight.
How long have you been doing calisthenics?
A little over like a year now.
So why calisthenics over the weights?
Is I see more of like more gains when I do more calisthenics over like regular like weights.
Okay, cool. All right, what is calisthenics to you, Islam?
Rip right. That's calisthenics. Bar stars, beast mode, barbarians. That's calisthenics, man. Using your body weight and resistance as resistance. Using your body weight as resistance. Various different movements and exercises with strictly body weight. But then some people also say using weights attached to you while also using your body weight is also calisthenics. But I believe freestyle, static movements, pull-up, push-ups, dips, all of the basic movements, I believe that's a combination of calisthenics. I believe the origination of the calisthenics is pull-up, push-ups, dips, the original movements. But I believe also these movements that are added into it, even though it's maybe not considered reps, like just holding a handstand, isometrics, or maybe doing a spin 360, I believe that's actually put into calisthenics. You can't really separate them right now. At this era and this time, you can't say those people aren't doing calisthenics, because they also do reps, just not as much as the guys that do reps, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. So, how long have you been doing calisthenics?
I would say 4 years strong right now at this high level. But you know, growing up, we did pull-ups, push-ups, dips, but nothing like this. Cause you know, I played sports. I played baseball, softball, soccer. I played football, basketball, which was my 2 top sports, basketball and football. So we did basic body weight movements growing up as a kid.
Why calisthenics over weights?
Calisthenics over weights is because it's more challenging. With weights, I'm not saying it's not impressive. Somebody lifting a X amount of weights is not impressive. It is. But for me, I noticed that it's a lot easier to advance in weights than it is in calisthenics. For example, you see a lot of people, they go with weights, and I noticed the people that usually go with weights, their work ethic for whatever reason, like, is not as much as a person that does calisthenics, if that makes sense. Like, you'll see people that know they need to slim down, they know they need to get shredded, but yet still they go lift tons of weights, because in order to get shredded causes a lot more work, if
Right.
you know what I'm saying. Like, just being able to pull that body weight, doing burpees, cardio, that stuff is what gets you gassed and winded. When I see weights, I think about strength training, doing
Stationary work.
Yeah, a bench press, hitting specific muscles. But with calisthenic, everything is compound, so you could be doing one movement and hitting a slew of different muscles. That's one of the pros and cons. In weights, if you have an injury, your shoulder injury, you can still do certain weights and certain movements that's gonna stay away from your shoulder. But in calisthenics, if you got a shoulder injury, you done. You better do some squats, because the minute you try to do a pull-up, the minute you try to do a dip, the minute you try to do a burpee or push-up, it's adding so many different muscles that you can't work around a particular injury for the most part.
Okay, J-Mac, what is calisthenics to you?
Alright, so I'm gonna have to 100% agree with Is. Calisthenics is everything, body weight movements, going from pull-ups, dips. You got some guys that do reps and sets, some guys like static movements like front levers, back levers, handstands and things of that nature, planches and all of that. And yeah, I just think it's everything that you can do with your own body weight.
Okay, so how long have you been doing calisthenics?
For it'll be like 2 years in November, so coming up on 2 years.
Okay, cool. So why calisthenics over weights? And have you ever done weights?
Yeah, so I got into fitness on the weights. I choose calisthenics over the weights because I feel that you have more natural strength. With calisthenics, that will help you progress in the weights. So I just feel like it's more natural, raw work. You're gonna get muscle way faster. You're gonna get cuts and striations and veins way faster than doing the weights. When I was on the weights, I noticed that I would get big and my muscles would get big, but I was puffy more than shredded. And that didn't really necessarily mean that I was strong because I could lift heavy weights, but when it came to doing pull-ups or whatever, I was lacking in that area. So that just showed me in itself that calisthenics was the real work. But like I said, doing calisthenics would definitely help you translate and progress with the weights too.
Okay, Mo. So what is calisthenics to you?
Like, I don't know, push-ups, pull-ups, muscle-ups, like stuff on the bar.
Okay, cool.
And that's it.
So how long have you been doing calisthenics?
2 months.
Okay, 2 months. So are you liking calisthenics so
Yeah.
far? All right. So do you prefer calisthenics over weights or both, or
I never did weights,
so it's just calisthenics for you? That's cool.
So TD, what is calisthenics to you?
Well, calisthenics to me is body weight training, pull-ups, push-ups, dips, muscle-ups, burpees, squats, anything you can do with your body weight is calisthenics. I mean, even if it's freestyle or if it's statics training, different things like that, all of that is body weight movement, and it does take a level of fitness to be able to do it, because if you're not used to working out at all, then you won't be able to do those things at all. So I think all of those things are calisthenics. Anything using your body weight is calisthenics.
So how long have you been doing calisthenics?
I've been doing calisthenics for like a little over 2 years now. I started with calisthenics out of just wanting to, because I was younger and I used to do pull-ups, push-ups, dips. I used to do a lot of push-ups when I was younger, and then I basically stopped. But I was a basketball player, so those things were like integrated in regular basic training. I stopped for a while, for a few years. I gained weight and things like that, and when I started working out again, the first thing I knew to go back to was doing push-ups. So that's what I started with.
So do you have any reasons why you choose calisthenics over weights?
Well, I have a specific kind of love for calisthenics. To me, I get more fun out of it. Sometimes I do prefer to do higher reps, higher sets on the calisthenics. So that's kind of why I do calisthenics more so. But it also builds a different level of strength that also translates to doing other kind of movements, whether it's the breathing, whether it's just the muscle fatigue, building that endurance. Because a lot of times people are doing quote unquote strength training. When you're doing calisthenics, it kind of builds some of that endurance. Even if you're not necessarily training for that endurance, it does build up a little bit of that endurance to be able to do sets over a little bit of time. So that's kind of why I prefer to do calisthenics. It kind of builds a little bit more. It's more sustainable. It's longevity. I see a lot of older people who's 60 years old and things like that. And shout out OG Shati, 65 years old. His birthday is actually in about a week, so he'll be 66 years old, and the man is doing muscle ups. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of guys. When it comes to calisthenics, maybe a muscle up or something like that, maybe like top level, but you don't see too many people in their 60s who's hitting the bench press at that. And not only that, but bench pressing 225 pounds or 315, etc. They're not really doing that. So it's a longevity kind of thing. It's good for the body, being able to, last a lot longer. Pause. All right, so that was it for the video. What is calisthenics to you? Let me know in the comments. Calisthenics is different for everybody. It means something different for everybody. If you're just starting a calisthenic journey, salute to you for wanting to start, and I hope you have a lot of success in achieving the goals that you want, fitness goals, strength goals, etc. You don't have to just stick with calisthenics. This is just our personal preference, different people that we just asked in the video. So stay tuned for another video. Training, saying, remain the same. Every day is training day. Let's go.